Welcome back to the Expert's Edge. In this video, I'll be talking about the top 5 best small towns in America. I don't know if you've ever heard of Cottonwood Falls, Kansas, but it's the #1 best small town in America. Why? Because it's the largest city in Chase County, with a whopping 903 people. Yep, 903 folks wandering around what is basically a couple of dirt roads, a saloon, and a whole lot of tumbleweeds. Don't get me wrong, I love this place. Where else can you walk into the one grocery store in town and immediately know everyone's name? Of course, when little Timmy goes missing, there's a 50-50 chance he just fell down an abandoned mine shaft or got snatched up by a coyote. But that's part of the charm. All I'm saying is keep an eye on your young'uns in Cottonwood Falls and watch out for rattlesnakes. Other than that, it's the bee's knees. First up on my list is Cottonwood Falls, Kansas. Cottonwood Falls is a slice of small-town Americana, where the pace of life moves as slow as molasses. With a population just scraping 900, you'll find more cows than people, and that's just how the locals like it. Downtown looks like a movie set from the 1950s, with its old-school barbershop, diner, and main street lined with shops. The historic courthouse is the pride of Chase County, with a clock tower you can see for miles across the prairie. When the one-stoplight town starts feeling too fast-paced, escape into the countryside. Cottonwood River winds through scenic bluffs, perfect for kayaking or tubing on a lazy Sunday. Prairie grasslands are filled with birds and wildflowers, begging to be explored on foot or bike. The people of Cottonwood Falls are as charming as their surroundings. Neighbors know each other by name, and newcomers are welcomed with open arms and homemade pie. Local events bring everyone together, from rodeo shows to fall harvest festivals. With affordable real estate and a low cost of living, Cottonwood Falls is an ideal place to settle in for the quiet life. This little slice of American heartland offers a peaceful respite from the rat race. Once you experience its simple pleasures, you just might not want to leave. Next on my list is Augusta, Montana, an old west town with modern amenities. Augusta, Montana makes you feel like you've stepped into a Western film. With under 400 residents, it's got that small town charm. The vibe is all cowboy. Everyone's either a farmer, rancher, or nature type. The city slickers stick out like a sore thumb, but the locals are friendly enough. The town's got an authentic Western flavor, but with modern comforts. You can check out books from the library, but you can also borrow fishing poles to try your luck in the creek. 10 lakes surround the town, full of trout and who knows what else. The scenery's rugged and unspoiled. It's paradise for outdoorsy types. For culture vultures, there's some interesting history here too. Augusta was a major stop on the Lewis and Clark Trail. You can see landmarks from their expedition, like Camp Disappointment. Not the cheeriest name, but an important piece of American history. So if you like the Old West but can't live without Wi-Fi, Augusta's got you covered. Come for the scenery, stay for the small town charm, and a glimpse into America's frontier past. Just watch out for those city slickers. They're trouble. Number 3 on my list is Phoenicia, New York. Phoenicia, New York has got to be one of the quirkiest little towns in America. With a whopping 300 residents, you'd think it would be sleepy and boring. Not so. This little hamlet in the Catskill Mountains is hipster central. The library is the coolest part. No, really. After the old building burned down, the good people of Phoenicia were showered with book donations. Now the temporary library lets you check out not just books, but fishing poles to use in the creek that runs through town. How's that for small town charm? That creek is prime trout fishing territory, so after you've caught your limit at the library, head to one of the tubing outfitters in town and float yourself down the creek. Just watch out for the drunk college kids in summer. They tend to congregate in the swimming holes like mosquitoes on a camper. Phoenicia may be tiny, but it's got food, music, art, and outdoor adventures galore. Grab a craft brew at the Phoenicia Diner, catch a show at the Shandaken Theatrical Society, or hit the hiking trails in Catskill Park. For such a little town, there's a weirdly hip vibe. Must be something in the water, or maybe it's that wacky library. Either way, Phoenicia marches to the beat of its own banjo. Next up is Cedar Key, Florida. Cedar Key is a sleepy little fishing village that escaped the notice of developers. Thank goodness. This place feels like stepping into a Humphrey Bogart movie. The 300 or so residents seem content with their quiet life on the water, no mega resorts in sight. Despite prime Gulf frontage, Cedar Key lacks a proper beach, so resorts never took off. The old docks and cottages remain mostly unchanged. Visitors feel like explorers discovering a secret paradise. It's all about unplugging here. My phone barely gets a signal. The fishing is legendary in these parts. I tossed in a line and in no time reeled in speckled trout and redfish. Later, I enjoyed the fresh catch at one of the seafood joints along Dock Street. Nothing fancy, just the day's haul and a cold beer. Some mornings, I kayaked through the salt marshes, spotting herons, egrets, and jumping mullet. The Cedar Keys contain 13 islands to explore, like Atsena Ote, with an old cemetery and lighthouse. I hiked through pine flatwoods and saw endangered scrub jays. Cedar Key moves at its own pace, without pretense. Visitors embrace the simplicity and natural beauty. Modern life feels far away in this little slice of old Florida heaven. I'll be back again to unwind, unplug, and wet a line in those fish-filled waters. Paradise found. And number 5 on my list is Bronson, Florida. Bronson, Florida ain't for the faint of heart. With a population of just over 500, this little hamlet in Levy County is about as quirky as they come. The downtown consists of a gas station, bait shop, and the Blue Goose, a bar where the same 12 locals have bellied up for the past 30 years. The fine folks of Bronson are an eclectic bunch. There's Old Man Jenkins, who hasn't left his porch since the Carter administration, and crazy cat lady Betty, with her 27 felines that we know of. You've got Hunter Dave, who hasn't met an animal he didn't want to kill, and Hippie Hal growing some herbal remedies in his backyard. An odd collection of oddballs for sure, but they're Bronson through and through. If you're looking for excitement in Bronson, you've come to the wrong place. The hottest spot in town is the laundromat, where Doris holds court with the latest gossip. For culture, check out the historic one-room schoolhouse, closed weekends and holidays. And for nightlife, grab a sixer and some bait and head to the creek. The catfish are biting, and the mosquitoes are big as birds. All told, Bronson may be short on amenities but long on character. Eccentric, bizarre, and stuck in a time warp, this little town marches to the beat of its own banjo. For an authentic taste of Cracker, Florida, Bronson can't be beat. But don't overstay your welcome. Those 12 bar stools at the Blue Goose await their regulars. Now let's get into frequently asked questions about the best small towns in America and answer your questions about small town living. Look, I get it. You have questions about small town living that need answers pronto. Well, lucky for you, I just so happen to be an expert on tiny hamlets in the middle of nowhere. So go ahead, ask me anything. I'll give it to you straight. Do small towns really only have one stoplight? Most do have just a single sad blinking stoplight that the town elders lovingly refer to as Old Blinky. Some have upgraded to a fancy traffic circle. A few renegade towns have gone rogue with 2, even 3 stoplights. But if you're looking for a bustling metropolis, you've come to the wrong place. Are the people really that friendly? The old adage, everybody knows your name, is pretty accurate. Chances are your neighbors will be all up in your business 24/7. But they also bring you pie when you move in and plow your driveway when it snows. Fair trade if you ask me. Just be prepared for some colorful characters and lots of waves from passing pickup trucks. Is the pace of life really that slow? If watching paint dry sounds exciting, small town life will suit you just fine. Things move at an unhurried pace around here. Folks amble more than walk. And rush hour traffic means you might get stuck behind a tractor on Main Street. But if you're looking to escape the rat race, you'll love how slow and simple small town living can be. Take it from me, life in a little town isn't for everyone, but if you're up for an adventure and ready to be part of a tight-knit community, small town living just might be the perfect fit. Any more questions? My door is always open. Well, not literally. We don't go for that kind of thing around here, but you get the idea. So there you have it, folks. 5 of the best blink and you'll miss 'em burgs that America has to offer. From one-horse towns like Augusta, where the most exciting thing to happen all month is when someone named Clem gets arrested, to hardly on the map spots, like Laper's Fork that are so far off the beaten path they don't even have a path. These pint-sized communities may not offer much in the way of bright lights and busy streets. But for those looking to escape the rat race, you'll find good old-fashioned small-town charm and more cute cows than people. Just don't expect much in the way of culture, unless watching old men spit tobacco counts as entertainment. So if you're fixing for a change from the hustle and bustle of the big city, pack your bags and head to one of these tiny dots on the map. Just be sure to set your expectations to low. These towns make ordinary feel extraordinary.